Okay. Okay. I saw this January in Japan book tag on Instagram and I thought, you know what, I am gonna hop on that. Over the last few years, I've really been into Japanese fiction in translation, and I feel like I have some book recommendations that other people might not recommend. Let's be honest, a lot of these are ones that you will see everywhere. I'm going to start with the book that got me into Japanese fiction. I absolutely fell in love with the style of it and the darkness of it. Whenever people ask me what the weirdest book I've read is, I say this book, Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. I know that Murakami is like problematic the way he represents women, but get this from a library or buy it secondhand or something if you don't want to give him money. The skill this man has is unreal. I never tell anyone anything about this when I recommend it to them. I think you should go into this completely blind. All I will say about the very basic plot of this book is this 15-year-old kid runs away from home and his life gets all tangled up. Cats talk. A lot of people recommend Norwegian Wood instead of this one. Nothing will ever beat this in my mind. Please read it. The second book I'm going to recommend does take quite a bit of a turn from the weird darkness of Kafka on the Shore. It is Sweet Bean Paste by Dorian Sekagawa. Look at this gorgeous cover. It's so pretty. This is a really heartwarming little story about a guy that's kind of down on his luck. He's got himself into some trouble, and this guy now works in a confectionery shop making this little pancake filled with sweet bean paste called dorayaki. Into his life wanders this lovely little old lady who teaches him how to make the best sweet bean paste. The story itself is quite small and self-contained, and I really appreciated that. It's nice to read. It feels very soft whilst also evoking such deep sentimentality and emotion. It's a story about people's lives twining together in completely unexpected ways. The next book I'm going to show you actually matches my top, kind of. Oh my god. It is Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. This 36-year-old woman decides that she doesn't want what other people want from life. She doesn't want a boyfriend or a husband. She doesn't want a proper job. She wants to stay in this convenience store job that she has had for years. One thing that really stood out to me is how good Sayaka Murata was at writing this weird mechanical feeling you get when you work in retail. It's a really short read, so if you are looking for something quick and easy, this really would fit into that, and I'd really recommend it for that. The next book is a little bit different from everything I've said so far because it is non-fiction. Starting Point by Hayao Miyazaki. I love Studio Ghibli films. That is not a secret. I think I stumbled across this on Instagram and immediately was like, must read. This is different. It is not a conventional memoir because Hayao Miyazaki hasn't actually sat down and written about his life. It is a series of interviews and articles all edited together into different sections to tell you the story of the foundation of Studio Ghibli and how Hayao Miyazaki started making films and a lot of the attitudes he has towards the themes he represents in his films. I would recommend this to anyone who likes animation. It also has like little art bits in the middle, and it has Miyazaki's like journals, which is absolutely adorable. Now I have two books to recommend that I don't have the physical versions of. I read both of these on my Kindle. First book is Diary of a Void by Emi Yagi. This book follows a woman who has just started at a new job in which she is expected by her male co-workers to do all the little menial tasks around the office. Small bits of cleaning up after meetings, getting tea and coffee, little things like that. One day she decides that she's had enough of that. She tells everyone that she is pregnant and that the smell of coffee is making her feel sick so that she doesn't have to do these tasks anymore. She is not pregnant. She realizes she really likes that she is no longer being expected to do all these small jobs and that she is being let go from work slightly earlier. She has a lot less responsibility because people believe that she's pregnant. She keeps up this lie for as long as she can. This book was probably one of my favourite books that I read last year. It had this element of like almost absurdism in the way that the story ended up developing. I think it really speaks to some of the pressures that are put on women in the workplace or even in the home, and I like that the main character had kind of had enough. Last book I'm going to recommend is The Travelling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arakawa. This is a book for any animal lovers, specifically any cat lovers. This story follows Nana the cat, who is on a road trip with his owner to an unknown destination. Along the way, he meets many wonderful characters. He meets cats and dogs and owners of B&Bs for animals. It was a big emotional challenge. This book had a few scenes where the animals were sad and it made me want to curl up into a ball and cry. Even if you don't love animals though, it is so strong emotionally. That is it for my January in Japan recommendations. I really hope you take me up on some of them. I really enjoyed reading every single one that I've mentioned. I would recommend you get into Japanese fiction in any way. My Instagram is in the description and probably my Goodreads too. Thank you for watching.